Here's something that has been on my mind for some, maybe a month or so, or two. While I was thinking about, or not necessarily thinking actually, more of like looking with my internal sense, looking internally, if that makes sense, at this thing with the generative AI. So it seems obvious to me that this thing that has been given to humanity, it was a strategic move in a way, a Trojan horse of sorts, a gift gifted to humanity, to tame, in a way, some of the wild spirits of humanity and making us think like, oh, look at this marvelous thing, this marvelous technology, which is granted freely to you to help you become more creative, to help you write your texts or articles better, to make such a beautiful, apparently beautiful images and paintings, to enhance your creativity, to produce better music. Now, I've talked with somebody the other day, 2 days ago or so, and this person was telling me that it was making a poster for a project which involved psychotherapy and AI. Like now, the AI is gonna become your psychotherapist. It's gonna conceal you, and it's gonna give you the best advices, probably factoring in all the Jungian psychology and Freudian psychology and all the psychologies and theories developed, psychological theories developed by humanity. And now the AI is gonna become the best, they're like a boosted psychotherapist. Imagine that. So, this thing with this freaking AI has been granted to humanity like a freaking Trojan horse, a gift promoted to enhance our life, to make you better than you are, more creative, more smart, more healthier, perhaps physically and mentally. The AI is there like an all-in-one saving tool, the savior, the savior of our days, isn't it? Probably in the future, the AI is gonna be branded like it's able to cure diseases, physical diseases. It's gonna top all the scientists of the world. It's gonna become the best painter, the best artist, the best doctor, the best priest. Probably the AI is gonna overtake even religion. You won't need priests anymore because the AI is gonna have all the doctrines, all the religious doctrines of the world combined probably into only one singular, the best religion possible, importing from all the religions. And this is how we might have the one world religion, crafted perfectly by the new AI God. So I'm looking and I was contemplating on all of this and I was seeing the possibilities, the thread lines the future thread lines. I was seeing how, well, it's just a step further than to start having children in this way, Instead of having children in a natural way, the parents could go to a freaking facility where you would have this AI machine, AI intelligence, and you could just tell it, well, we want the children, we want it to have blue eyes, and make it blonde hair. Yeah, make it, make it Aryan looking, make it blonde, tall, the perfect, proportions, you know, make it be scientifically inclined. Oh no, we want it to be artistically inclined. Oh, we want a musician. Oh, we want a scientist. Oh, we want that or that. And the AI is just gonna take the DNA material from, let's say, you guys, the parents. It's gonna combine the DNA in some way, activate or mutate the DNA in some way in which it's gonna produce your freaking desired child. You'll just have to, you'll have a prompt, you have to prompt in your desired child, similar to how now you're prompting, you're inserting your prompts, I think that's what they are called, when you're making your AI generated paintings, you're inputting there your prompts. Oh, it's just, I want a Van Gogh image with, make me a Mickey Mouse scene in the Van Gogh image, you prompt there whatever your imagination comes up with, and the AI is generating it for you immediately, 30 seconds. It's done. 10, 10 paintings available instantly. This is how you might be able to choose instantly between 10 versions of childs, Oh, you will be prompted with exactly how it might look, or you might want to leave some surprises in. You can, have a toolbar there, and you can increase the possibility to have some, imperfections, some surprises. The AI can grant you surprises if you want. And that's how you can see 10 different childs. Oh, oh, give us the third one. Yeah, I think it's the best looking honey, right? Right? Oh God, and you can see it where, you can see it how it will look at 3 years old, and how it will look possibly at 10 years old, and then 20 and 40 and so on. You'll be able to see the entire, development even, because it can calculate the cellular development and so on. If no, accidents or something happens to it, then you can see the entire development of your own child, and you can just choose, oh well, we wanted this one, and that's it. You go home, you come back in, I don't know, maybe you don't even need to wait 9 months, maybe, who knows, but you come back in some time, bam, here's your child, ma'am. Oh God, it's exactly what we wanted. And you take it home and you raise it. It's just like you're taking a plant and you raise it, and you already know what you're gonna get, or maybe you're gonna be implanted with that DNA material in yourself, and you want to breed it yourself, who knows. But it's just so obvious where this could go with all this AI stuff. And while I was contemplating upon all of this, and it's obvious that this is gonna be, if humanity is gonna take this route, it's obvious that this is gonna be the new God. It's just obvious. Just this AI is gonna replace religion. It's gonna replace doctors. It's gonna replace psychologists. It's gonna replace artists. You won't need to do all of this stuff, because the AI is gonna be able to do all of it for you in your place. It's gonna become the new God. It's gonna become the AI gods. Definitely. Clearly, this is gonna be a possibility. I mean, this is a possible thread line, right? If humanity chooses to go down this path. And I was contemplating upon all of this, and then the other obvious thought or the other obvious impression that I had was that was this thing with the mark of the beast, you know. You know how in so many groups and so many online groups and so many communities, there is this discussion of the mark of the beast, you know, and how the mark of the beast is here to signify, to symbolize the end of humanity as we know it, and how humanity, many of them, human beings, are gonna be taking this mark of the beast and accepting the mark upon themselves. And I was thinking, you know, it's like, oh, but you know, many people in these, you know, fringe communities or conspiratory communities or truther communities, they talk about the mark of the beast as if it would be an actual, you know, branded mark. You know, it's just like my impression is like maybe it's like some of them. It's almost like they are waiting for the mark of the for something to come with a brand on it. It's just saying mark of the beast. Do you want it? No. I have the impression that some of these people they are waiting for the mark of the beast almost to come and with a label on it, you know, hey, this is the mark of the beast, you know. Or some others, they are envisioning the mark of the beast as being this biometric chip or, you know, a thing that you have to insert it in your body or a vaccine of sorts or a medical procedure or a biometric chip or a thing in your brain or who knows, you know. They are expecting the mark to be something more physical and that, you know, might be the case at some point. But what if the mark of the beast is not something, it's not necessarily a thing that would happen into one occasion and that's it. What if the mark of the beast comes in different stages? And what if this AI, this generative AI that has been granted to humanity, this Trojan horse, this gift that was granted to humanity and adopted by so many human beings, was a sort of stage, was a sort of manifestation of this mark of the beast. Like, what the heck do you think it is? Look at it, it's something completely artificial, here to take our humanity away from us, here to do everything that us as humans we were doing, here to take our creative ability away from us, here to take our own ability to think intelligently, creatively, empathically, perhaps, towards each other. The AI is gonna do all of this stuff. So it's definitely clear that from the start it's a dehumanizing agent. What is it said about the mark of the beast? It's exactly that. It's a dehumanizing agent. So how come then? How come most of human beings haven't had this immediate sense of danger when being prompted with this new gift, this Trojan horse of the generative AI? How come they've hopped so fast in this boat? How come so many have started using it to create images, to feel like, oh, the AI is giving me so much freedom of creativity. Now I can create so many images for my project, so much music, so much text. Everything becomes, by the way, so blunt. All those images, they kind of look like the same. They have the same kind of glamorous style of sorts. Very shiny, very glamorous, and they have no life in them. Basically, there's no life there. But so many have adopted them, happily adopted the AI, happily starting to use it for writing texts, for creating images, for researching subjects, instead of going and reading, spending weeks to read upon a certain subject, books or articles or uncover documents, and just spend time to research a certain subject. Now you can ask the freaking AI. It gives you all the answers in 1 minute, 30 seconds or less. So many have adopted this thing and have started using it. And if if this would be something, if there would be something true about this idea that the mark might be coming in stages, well, what can we say then about all these human beings which have so readily, staggeringly readily, adopted this artificial intelligence in their lives, thinking that it is bettering them, thinking that it is there to create a benefit for them, thinking that this freaking AI was created to benefit their lives. God, man, where do you think this came from? It came from freaking governments and agencies, and where do you think this was created before it was gifted to humanity? With what purpose? Jesus. It's like, why do human beings do not think more deeply about these things that are offered to them? Why do they see only the most immediate benefit, and they do not take into account or stop for some time to contemplate upon the purpose for why a certain gift is given? Is it truly a gift? Only because why? Only because it appears to be beneficial immediately? Is this necessarily a gift then? Why don't we stop to think in advance? Why don't we stop to think like, what does this mean if I start using this stuff? What what what's the statement that I make? What's the decisions that I take for myself in my life if I start using this stuff? What does it mean in the future? If I start using a bit of artificiality now, what does that mean for me in the future? So this might have just very well be a clear delineation, a clear mark of the beast, just to test the waters, see who is readily able to hop in the boat and take the mark, who is immediately ready to adopt the dehumanizing artificiality, which was, of course, wrapped in a beautiful garment made to look like a gift, made to look like something beautiful. This is what I'm saying, that why do human beings expect the mark of the beast to come with a branded, like, this is the mark of the beast? Probably they would expect to see the head of a devil there, something really scary, so they know, no, we don't want that. We don't want the mark. We know about the mark. You're trying to give us the mark, you know. It's like, They would expect the mark of the beast to come to them branded in a devilish, label, so they know, oh, it's the mark, we don't want the mark. But what if the freaking mark of the beast comes in something really pretty, really enticing, really beautiful, really like something that can make you feel like on the top of the world? So powerful all of the sudden, so creative all of the sudden, so many abilities to heal your mind, your body, so much you could achieve if you just use this thing. Just adopt it and you can benefit like this and like that and like that. You can become more creative. You can write so many, let's say, perfect text and emails from now on. You can have a perfect health, perfect mental health. You can have so many benefits. Just take this, you know. And how many have taken it? How many have freaking bought so fast, so readily into this possible mark? Well, I believe that over 95% of the population right now have been at least one time using it to generate a text, to generate an image, or anything. Just to, oh, I just played a bit with it to see what it is. Why? Why did you play with it? But it's fine, it's fine. If we realize this, I believe that we can just step away from it. I have the clear feeling that this, even the mark of the beast, you can untangle yourself even if you accepted it. You can just disentangle yourself from it and refuse it. Oh, I've made a mistake, and you realize it. And you just drop the tool. It's like, I appreciate, thank you, but it is. I'm returning it back. I'll just handle myself the way I am, with my poor health, my poor abilities of thinking or of creativity. I'm just remaining the way I am. Here it is. I'm returning the gift. We can always return the gift, at least in the incipient levels. Because after some time, it's like with any drug. See, with cigarettes, with alcohol, you are always saying, like, oh, I'm gonna smoke just one more cigarette because I can quit it whenever I want. Or is it truly so? Can you truly quit it whenever you want? And that's similar with this AI technology and generative AI. See, maybe human beings are actually granted the ability to just stop using it. Just return the gift and live your life through your own power, through your own creativity, through your own ability to be who you are, the way you are, with your faults, with your imperfections, with your, sometimes illnesses and weaknesses, but at least you are gonna remain your true sovereign being. Return the gift. But who? Even knowing this, knowing that if you are always having the ability to return the beast, to, let's say, demark yourself from the mark that you've accepted. How many will actually choose to stop using it? Because if they know, like, oh, you can quit it anytime, it's even worse to know this. To be granted the freedom to quit anytime, because then you will feel no pressure to quit anymore. You'll feel like, oh, I can quit anytime. I can quit using the AI whenever I want. And then 1 year passes by, 2 years, 3 years. In the meantime, you're using it more and more because, hey, you think you can quit it at any time. And in the meantime, you've accepted even more the mark, even more the mark, even more the mark. So much that right now you're so entangled in it that it's almost impossible for you to quit, even though you think you can. But it's almost becomes more and more harder, reaching towards impossibility. Because everything in your life becomes like that. Once you start feeling the effects of it, feeling how it can better your life, how your friends appreciate your, texts, how you've created these perfect, animations or movies, and they were so appreciated by the others. After 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of, this constant gratification and appreciation, or maybe your health is gonna be improved because we are gonna have AI facilities to improve your health, or AI psychotherapies to improve your mental health. After all this time, after you accepted all of these gifts, these marks, can you truly quit? Who will you be without all of these advantages? Are you truly sure that 4 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, living with all of these advantages, apparent advantages that the AI has brought you, will you be able to truly quit? So then it's obvious that many won't be able to truly quit. And that's how the mark is gonna be easily, easily set upon them. You don't even need a biometric chip at some point, because if you are going to accept, for example, being cured by the AI psychotherapist or by the AI doctor, or who knows what they will make you sign or do, or even in your mind, there are energetic signatures. If you were cured mentally by the AI psychotherapist, that might have left an energetic signature upon you as a being. You were cured. Think about how strange this is. You were cured by an artificial thing. What the heck? How come an artificial thing can cure a living thing? What would you be then if you can be cured by something artificial? Don't you see that this stuff, as much as you accept it, it transforms you into itself? It makes you be like it. You become artificial. You become part of the AI. You merge with the AI as much as you are using it. Isn't it obvious? You're giving yourself to it. And so many can hear these words or the words of others, if there are others that are speaking about this stuff. And they are gonna say, oh, what a loony, Oh, how much drama from this individual there that it's telling us not to use the AI because, oh God, all doom and gloom, if you're using it. Oh, there are all these individuals which are nostalgic of the past. They can't move on. They can't see that everything is evolving in life, that we are evolving, and the AI is just another tool in our evolution, just another step, man. Why do you make so much drama out of it, They are these, evolutionists in a way that will think like, oh, but what? Do you want to remain stuck in the past? Don't you see that this is the new age? This is the new era. We have to evolve. We have to align ourselves with it. Otherwise, we will remain behind. Do you want to remain behind? And they are gonna consider that if you do not take this mark, if you do not use the AI and its services, which are gonna become more and more, pervasive, who knows how many other services is gonna branch into. Now, right now, it's just the creative services, and now it started with psychotherapy. But who knows, in 1 year, 2 years, even God, 5 years, 10 years from now, who knows in which services is gonna branch itself in. If you do not accept the AI, oh, you're gonna feel, everybody else will say like you are remaining behind, and you're gonna be this, inapt, mortal, weak individual, while they are gonna evolve, into becoming the most intelligent, the most creative, the most healthy. Probably it's gonna become, they are gonna become artificially sustained into existence, so they are gonna have some form of immortality. And they are gonna feel themselves superior, and many true, honest beings might get caught in this. And once you're getting caught in this and you're gonna be surrounded by people like this with the same mentality, it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be like in a cult. It's gonna be really hard to get out of it. Because all your friends, everybody around you will start mocking you and laughing at you, and you'll feel weak if you're abandoned. If you're trying to leave artificiality after you've been for much time in it, it's gonna be really hard. And it itself is gonna make it be hard for you to leave it. Although again, I feel like this is how it is always with the mark. I feel we are always given a chance to renounce it at any time. So I'm far from seeing, by the way, that the mark of the beast is something permanent. That if we take it, there is no turning back. I feel that the mark of the beast, in whatever form it might come, it's always gonna allow us a chance to renounce it, because these are the principles of existence. You always have to have the freedom to change your mind. So this is always gonna be granted. You will always be able to renounce the mark, but will you renounce it? That's the question. Will you renounce it? Or is it gonna be like quitting smoking when you know that you can do it any day, and thus you don't do it in any day? Just because you know you can, you just don't do it anymore. So these are my thoughts about the mark of the beast. I believe the AI, this generative AI, is definitely part of it. Definitely has been a move towards this. It's a dehumanizing agent, and the mark of the beast has always been portrayed as a dehumanizing agent. And this is what this generative AI is, and it's just the buds, it's just the beginning stage. But humanity is being tested right now. It is tested how humanity reacts to this, let's say, preamble. This is this is the first stages of the mark. And humanity has already, the majority of it has already adopted it. And there is also catch here. There, I'm also seeing a catch. I'm also seeing that, you know, there are these beings in humanity, these true human beings. And the most important decisions of how and where we are going as a collective of humanity is taken by this handful of beings. It's just, let's say, there are only few in humanity which actually they are powerful beings, and their decisions and the way they run their life influences the direction that the entire collective is taking. I believe that from a certain perspective, everything that happens in humanity with this AI and this generative AI, and how we are being shown that so many have started using it and many have started using it, was also a sort of like marketing, like an advertising, to make, to play this, to play upon the minds of this handful of beings, to make them seem like, oh, the entire world is using this, why aren't you using it? So if you are one of these true human beings, just know that you might be, just be, let's say, set up, you might just see that everybody around you is using it, and you might start convincing yourself like, well, I could just use it, if everybody uses it. It's just a benign thing, right? I just generate some of my text, or I'm making my research with it, or I'm making my images with it. No, it's just not that bad, right? And you might just out of curiosity start using it, and then you see yourself that after 2 months you're using it even more than before, and after 4 months you're even using it even more than before. And because you are a powerful being, and now you are truly using the AI, you have taken the mark basically. Now the mark really has started to have power. The beast starts having more power because you are one of the true human beings which have power. There are not so many of this kind. For example, there might be 10,000 human beings which don't have this type of power, and they might use the mark, they might use this generative AI, but without any true, let's say, power given to it. The beast is not fed through them necessarily, but it is fed through you, because you are a being which you have power. And if you give your power to this beast, then you give your power to the beast. So some of these true human beings might be fooled by this AI, and they might start using it. And that's when the danger, let's say the so-called danger, truly starts, because they are the ones which have power. And if more and more true human beings start using this generative AI and giving their power to the beast, then the beast truly starts having power, and it can develop itself more and more. But I see little danger if these true human beings remain anchored in their spirit, anchored in the truth within them, anchored in their true humanity, anchored in naturality. Then, the entire world can make it seem like, oh, everybody is using the AI, and why aren't you using it? But you'll see how this is going to fade away quickly, because without your power, if you are retaining your power in your spirit, retaining your power to yourself without giving it to these artificial constructs, you'll see how these artificial constructs are gonna fade away really quickly. Because without your power, they have no power to sustain themselves into existence. So even the beast, it cannot grow without you giving it your power. It's just a matter of courage and faith, and inner faith, inner receptivity to listen to the voice within you, the voice within your heart, which signals if you should adopt this generative AI, or maybe any other type of technology that might be offered, or not. Just listen to your heart. Listen to that silent whisper within. Trust it. And remain anchored in it, in spite of anything that might appear here in the physical world. Just remain anchored in the silent whisper in your heart. Trust in it more than anything that you can see and hear and taste and touch with your physical senses. Remain anchored within. And you'll see that all these phantasms that appear here in the physical world trying to lure you, they are gonna disappear as quickly as they appear if you remain centered in yourself and you retain your power to yourself and you refuse to give them power. So ask yourself, do you see a future? Do you want to, let's say you are one of these true human beings and you have this immense power, and it's up to you. It's like you would have an immense treasure, an immense, let's say, chest of money, golden coins, and you can give your money to anything, and whatever you're putting your money on, that thing is gonna grow. Now contemplate for yourself. Just stay with this for some weeks and contemplate upon it. Take this generative AI technology that has been offered currently to humanity, and just stay with it for some weeks. See what you believe about it. See how you envision the future if you start adopting it more and more. See where this, what your spirit within, let's say, shows you that this might lead you. And see for yourself if you truly need to use it or not. But allow time to contemplate. Just make sure you're disallowing yourself to just hop in this boat just because it's the latest thing, and you might be left behind or missing out if you do not use it immediately. Just take some time and see for yourself, contemplate, where is this going if I start using it? What were the purposes for why this was given to humanity? What does this mean? Do I want to give it my power or not? Should I give it my power or not? Check within. Listen to your spirit within. And again, if you already started using it, do the same. Contemplate upon these questions. You can always give the gift back. You can always return the gifts. You can always stop using the generative AI and write your own songs or texts and create your own images, or find other ways, make photography, find other ways to be creative, and stop using this stuff now in the incipient level when it is much more easy. Even if you started using it, you can always just stop using it. Go back to your humanity, find other human beings, find an artist to create your images. Make a barter. If you can't pay it, make a barter. Maybe you know how to do something. Just be honest. Write an honest email to an artist that you admire. Write about your passionate project. Write how much you want to have its beautiful illustrations for your project. Write what you can do, and I can tell you, if you write it from your heart, that being is gonna come and cooperate with you, and is gonna make you those illustrations for free. This is humanity, man. This is what we have to do. It's freaking natural collaboration between us, sharing skills, sharing our knowledge, our gifts, our skills between us. Any true human being, and any human being, is gonna want to aid you if you're truly honest. You're gonna find the resources. Remember that the spirit of all life is by your side, there to guide you. It's gonna give you the resources needed to make any project come true without using anything of this generative AI. And you're gonna make it, that project, you're gonna make it by the power of humanity. You're gonna go and discuss and make new collaborations, new friendships perhaps with fellow human beings. And the spirit of all life is gonna communicate through them with you. You're gonna create something marvelous together, and it's gonna be humane. Yes, it's gonna take longer, it's gonna be harder. It's not gonna work from the start. It's not gonna be a 30 seconds, result from a prompt that the AI can give you. Maybe it's gonna take 10 months or 2 years. But at the end of this, all of this work, you're gonna make something truly memorable. That's gonna impact not only you, but the others around. Look at all these AI images. How memorable they truly are when you can create hundreds in seconds. But you are gonna create something memorable because it's gonna be truly unique. Because it would have had you there, pouring your soul, your heart, your mind, your physical body sometimes, your physical energy to it for months. That's irreplaceable. That's unable to be ever copied. That's a true living creation. And this is what you are created for, by the way, if you're a true human being. You're created to create with the life within you. The life within you is incomprehensibly more powerful, more creative, more genius than any artificial intelligence would be able to. Remain faithful to the life within, to your spirit within. Never betray that spirit. Never betray it for any, beautiful golden Trojan horse offered in this physical world. Nothing can match the majesty, the power, the significance, the genius of our spirit within. Nothing. And we should never trade that for anything, ever. Better to remain here, apparently, like a mundane human being, hungry, thirsty, weak, ill, but to keep the connection with our spirit within, than to give that away for some apparent advantages in the physical world. So these were my thoughts related to the mark. I feel that the mark of the beast might not necessarily come branded as something awful, something devilish, something monstrous that you immediately recognize and you refuse it and stay away. The mark of the beast can very well come wrapped in a golden, beautiful cover, make it seem like the best of gifts, so you can adopt it readily, enchanted by it. So this generative AI, in my opinion, might be very well the beginning of this mark, delineating in humanity who has the predisposition to accept it in the future. Because as you see yourself readily accepting this bit of artificiality in your life, bit by bit, you're gonna become more and more entrenched in it. And it's gonna be easy in the future to accept a true, let's say, more definite, to make a definite choice towards artificiality after you have been using it already for years. So, in my opinion, this generative AI might have very well be part of this mark, a stage, the first beginning stages of it. And if I think about it, I don't even think it was the first stage. I think there were other stages before. Even the technologies that we are using, the phones, the laptops, might have been one of these stages, of course. But with this new generative AI, which starts taking the place of our inner spirit within, so you don't have to be creative, you go to the generative AI. Creativity comes from the soul. If you start replacing your own creative power, if you start outsourcing that for something in the exterior of yourself, you're just letting go more and more of your own soul. So that's moving artificiality to a next level. It's one thing to use laptops and phones, and we already were dependent on them. We were accepting the mark already to some degree, but now to accept it, but we were accepting it more from a, let's say, physical and mental level, if you notice that. What phones and screens were doing is just like they were hooking us physically, because physically we became more stagnated. We were just looking at the screen, and our body became more stagnated, more latent. We stopped having so much physical activities. We were just with our eyes in the screen, so it affected us physically and then mentally as well, because it changed our beliefs, our ideas. We were always connected to this feed of media and the news. We would have access readily on these screens. So it affected us mentally and it affected us physically primarily. But it didn't reach the soul. Well, now it is generative AI, it is reaching the soul. because the soul is your creative power. That's the essence of your life. If you start replacing that with an artificial thing, that's allowing artificiality within your very soul to touch your very soul. That's when your own soul starts becoming artificial. There's a limit for everything. And I believe that this should draw a clear sign of attention and make us see if this might be the limit in which we might need to say stop. And I will end this by saying that the spirit within us, again, it's more capable, more genius, more powerful than anything that any artificial intelligence is ever going to be able to do. It's just a matter of trust, trusting in the spirit within, choosing it over anything that appears here in the physical world. Any gift that it is given, if it is clearly visible that it is created to depart us from our soul and from our spirit within, it's better to just refuse the gift. It's unmatchable what our spirit within can do. And I believe a time is coming in which the ones which remained connected with their spirit and they chose their spirit over any gift, any advantage that was branded as an advantage and advertised as an advantage here in the physical world. And they chose their spirit even though they seem like if they choose their spirit and they don't choose the artificial, they are gonna become really disadvantaged here. And they choose and they still chose spirit, even though they might have felt scared that they are gonna become ill, or remain weak, or die, or remain mortal, or suffer hunger, suffer cold. They still decided all of this. They chose this consciously because they chose to remain connected with their spirit. They chose spirit basically over whatever this is, this artificial dead spirit which tries to take over the world. They chose the living spirit of all life, basically. And I believe a time is coming in which we are gonna witness directly the power of this true spirit of all life. And the ones which we decide to remain connected with the spirit, we are gonna see, we are gonna reap, in a way, the fruits of all these efforts. We are gonna see what this truly meant. So I'm extending a call here to all of you, true human beings, to remember your truth, to remember the true life that beats within you, and to make the courage to choose it because now is the time to choose it. Consciously, deliberately, with all your force, all your courage, all your power, remain anchored in your spirit. Choose the life within you over anything that it is presented as advantages in the exterior of yourself. If those advantages are clearly departing you from all the naturality of life and your spirit within, choose the spirit within. I'm extending this call not only as a call, but as my true hands, in a way, like invisible hands extended in the world, reaching anybody who hears this. And me, maybe even the ones which are not hearing this and never will find this message. I'm reaching you as well. I feel you as well. It's my power which is sent into the world to reach any true human being. That Some of you might know me, and most of you might not. But we have to do this. We have to support each other in this way. This is an invisible form of support, but it is a real one. So this call, it's also my own hand. It's an invisible hand coming from my very being, extended outwards to any true human being, reaching out to any true human being, knowing this touch of my own heart and of my own soul, touching you, letting you know you are far from being alone. This invisible touch of the spirit, letting you know you're real and what you have felt all your life is real. You are a true human being. And you should feel supported. You should feel the support of others, knowing you're never alone. So make the courage to stand in the spirit, because as many of us we stand in the spirit, it becomes easier and easier for others to find the way to their own spirit within and to stand in truth in it with courage, because it's gonna become tough in the outer world. It's gonna become really tough. So many things we are gonna be extremely scared in the outer world, and we are gonna be extremely lured. Both sides are gonna play before us, both the demons and the fake angels. And we have to be able to stand in the spirit within us in the face of both of them. Never betraying the spirit within, never departing again from our true home within, which is the spirit. Always standing in our truth, in our spirit, independent of anything that it is offered in the outside world. Even if we are scared with hunger, with death, with cold, with abandonment, with a rejection, or even if we are lured with fake love, fake friendship, fake technologies, fake advantages, fake health, and so on. We have to be able to distinguish what in the outside world is coming from spirit. And it is a tool of the true spirit of our life, and what is not, and what in the outside world comes from the spirit of death, and the spirit of artificiality and dissolution and disintegration of our life. We have to distinguish very clearly from now on and make the choice. Only choose the things in the outer world which your heart signals that those are the true things that come from spirit, the true spirit of our life. And when you find such a thing, stick to it no matter what. Stick to it with your very life. Because that's a true thing which is worthy of your entire life. Never abandon anybody which is coming from the true spirit of our life. If you find such a being, always remain close to it. All right, this was my feelings and my message for this video and for this recording. I know we are capable of doing this. I know that the spirit of our life is gonna show itself at some point. We are gonna see more and more what we are made out of. But right now we have challenges ahead, because you see very well how our world is currently looking. It is already seized more and more by these artificial constructs. It's up to us now to choose life over artificiality, to choose truth over death, and to remain anchored in the life within us. I am with you. We are already together. Knowing or unknowing of each other, we are already together. And we can feel the power of each other, even if we speak or not, even if we know of each other or not. I am here for you, all of you, with the totality of what I am, with all my breath. Everything that I am is here for you. Let's see what this journey requires from us. Let's see what we are about. Let's see what the spirit of all life has prepared us for. And let's see how this true story of life unfolds through us, with us, through our faith, through our courage, through our purity, and ultimately through our true love within. We are beings of true love. We are beings of true light. And we are here to unfold the true, real version of this entire reality. This is what we are created for. And this is what we are to do together.